Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This week we're doing Gantz and Gantz Perfect Answer, and as always, we bring you movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, hello, and the man that loves that little box, Ryan Preston. This week we're doing Gantz and Gantz Perfect Answer. Ryan, what is this movie about?
These are two movies. Gantz, it basically introduces the story. I mean, this has had a ton of iterations already. I mean, with a bunch of manga and things like that, and it was a comic, I think, a long time ago. But then
which is what manga is.
Yeah, it's
manga is Japanese comic books.
Right. Yeah. But then I think it got purchased, or at least the rights purchased by Dark Horse here in America, and then they ended up releasing the movie here. The live action movie basically is about a bunch of people who died and end up getting transported to a white room, empty, with the only thing in it is being this sort of ominous black orb. Which they end up finding out, obviously, that it plays this awesome wake-up music, and it ends up popping out with these things, giving them a bunch of weapons and explaining that they're going to have to kill aliens in order to gain points to get out of this world.
Well, to get two options, I'm going to continue on with this.
Right.
You get two options that is part of the, now, quote-unquote, 100-point menu.
Right. And
when you have that your memory can be erased and you can be released, or you can revive a loved one or somebody who has died in the game. Now,
somebody who's died in the game itself, because obviously when killing aliens, people get massacred.
Yeah, so it's
as we've said in the other episodes, shenanigans happen.
Now,
shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my pick. I'm jumping on this one. I'm taking this horse and I'm going to run it into the ground for you guys first. Now,
Sarah Jessica Parker's in the movie.
Well, somebody's got to beat her. Now, I am a big fan of this anime. This is obviously my pick. I am a fan of this, so you guys can go ahead and call me a fanboy on this one.
He was chomping at the bit to do this.
I like this one because, I don't know, I'm just a violence-oriented person. I like to see violence. So, seeing these weapons that they have that, like blow people up, take off full-on limbs and things like that, that's just kind of fun for me. So
the concept was really fun for me.
Now, the anime, I was a big fan of the anime, and then these movies got released last year. There's actually technically 3 of them. The third one isn't really part of the storyline. It kind of is one that I guess they were trying to beat a dead horse a little bit, so
right,
I didn't include this one.
Wraps it up.
Yeah. So, and they actually did do kind of a little thing of that in the anime, and it didn't really fly very well. So, my thing here is, I just got one thing to say about this one. Eat it, Wachowski brothers, this is what you should have done. The consistency of the feel of both of these movies from the first to the second one is very smooth. There's not an awful transition like you're like, wait a minute, wasn't things a little bit different in the first one? What happened here? You guys changed your color palette. You did what the type of thing. That's what kind of felt like when you go from Matrix 1 to Matrix Revolutions.
That's the third one, I think.
No, I thought Revelation was the third
one.
Reloaded. Thank you.
No, I'll agree that the change between the both of them there's no difference. They look exactly the same for being made a year apart.
Yeah, so this is
the change between the original Star Wars and the new Star Wars. It just doesn't seem to match up in your head.
Yeah. So they did really good with that. Not only that, but I mean, they took everything from the anime and brought it to life. Like the suits, the way the suits got big and buff, the way that the suits would even bleed when they got overused.
How close were the first and the second ones made together?
Like a year apart.
No. They were released the same year.
I thought they were the 2011, 2012.
So they probably did them one after another.
Wow.
They did. I'll have to pull it up real quick. But they both came out in 2011, according to what I found. Because I can't have found them both at the same time. Let's see. Gantz. Perfect answer. Anyway, so that was really blowing away for me. The other thing that I kind of thought was pretty funny was the fact that the chicks' drawings when she drew the guy, he kept coming out as perfectly drawn for 2011 was Gantz Perfect Answer. He kept on coming out exactly the same way that that the other that was drawn in the anime. Oh, you're right, 2010. Sorry. 2010, release date January 29th.
So they could have been...
the release date was January 29th, 2011. So they were released the same year.
So they probably filmed them roughly about the same time and then just released them 9 months.
I think they kind of did like a smooth thing where it was just like they filmed the whole thing and then they just cut it up. As
like Peter Jackson did with the Lord of the Rings movies.
Right, so, those were a couple things that I thought was great. The fact that, I mean, it was kind of a rush job... And the fact that they were trying to tell a complete story, but I thought they did really well. They didn't cut out anything that I thought was important. So I really enjoyed it.
So you felt it kind of maintained the quality and the spirit of the comic.
The thing is I despise the dub version. So you fans out there, I am a purist, I guess you can kind of say, is I'm going to go with a subbed. I was going to say,
I think, are we all on the same page as this? Charney, what's your opinion on dubbed versus subtitles?
It really depends on what it is, but generally I like subtitles.
Me too. I will, because I mean, I think by now, especially with the internet, everybody kind of has an idea of different cultures and the differences between them. So watching the subtitles, it at least gives you a lot of the intonation that they're speaking in their own language. You know, you don't feel like you're losing a lot in translation when you can hear the inflection that they put on it and then read what the translation is.
There's a perfect way. If you ever watched Naruto, the anime, there's the difference to me as telling us if you actually read the subtitles and then watch the dub version, there's two different feels, at least to me and James. Because we've talked about it in the past, there's the difference. There is a difference because generally they try to match the mouth, the words are different. And the subtitle generally just fits better for some reason.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to bring up when I was going on that tangent is the fact that the lip syncing, when I kind of caught some from the subbed version or the dubbed version, was way off. So that's one thing that would bug me as I'm watching it. I need to hear the actor's voice. I need to see their face. I need to see how they're portraying the words that they're trying to say. So seeing it as a subtitle, you get that.
It's not as distracting.
And with dubbed, I mean, at the opposite end, you're really watching two different performances. Yeah. You're watching an actor give his performance with his dialogue, and then you're watching, or you're rather hearing a voice actor, giving a possibly completely different performance than the original actor intended. So,
and the other thing is that the Gantz, which is, as what Ryan referred to it as, the black orb. When Gantz talks, it's all Japanese, and then it's translated into English. And I didn't watch enough of the sub to find out, the dubbed, to find out if they translated that properly. And I love if you guys unfortunately find or see a version and you don't have Gantz writing translation, find one that has that, because the stuff that Gantz says to the people is hilarious.
Oh,
I love it. The scoring.
Stop staring at her tits.
Who bounce too much.
Yeah. The criticism that Gantz gives the guys in there is just really funny.
The style.
So, John, I'm sorry, I've ranted on this.
No problem. I was going to say, I love the fact that he's dyslexic.
Yeah.
So what score do you give this?
I'm going to let you finish before I give it a score.
Okay. I was going to say, I got to be honest, I'm not a fan of the anime Gantz. I had a hard time getting into it. James was right. The look and feel of the anime is dead on between both versions. The color palette's the same. The characters are the same. The look and feel is the same. And Hollywood seems to never be able to do this unless they do it like one after another.
I don't know. Watchmen was pretty effing close.
Watchmen was, I do give you the props on that one.
Obviously, people have their problems. I mean, I even have my problems between the books and the movie, but they really nailed the look and the feel of it.
They did a really good job. The one thing I had a problem with this is it goes from like fast-paced action to really slow drama parts, in my opinion.
But that was the anime.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's probably one of the reasons, because if it's and it just the to me the drama just didn't feel important enough to me to care.
Well, that's the thing that I always had a problem with the anime too, is the fact that I didn't really care about the dude's brother.
Oh no. What
I wanted to see was them get warped back to Gantz. So, every time that, you get into a drama scene when they're not fighting in Gantz, you're chomping at the bit for them to get warped back.
But right. I have to say, at least the chick didn't ask to be his pet in this movie like they did the anime. Thank God.
Yeah.
And if you watch the anime or watch the movie, I hate Kato.
Oh, I do too.
Kato, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I hate that character, period. Should have left him dead. My personal opinion.
I know.
I do like the Gantz Perfect Answer. It takes place storyline-wise 5 months after the first movie ends, and just the way that transition goes was really well done.
Yeah, it was.
It was fast, but it gives you the information to catch up on what happened with that small period of time.
One thing that I forgot to mention, and I was going to see if you did it, the way that they did the way that Gantz warped people.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't do that, but that
was very well done. I got to give you guys fat props on that for doing that very well. That was one of my biggest concerns about going from anime to live action. Sorry.
No. I didn't put that on my points, but I have to agree. The way they did the slicing action, it matched the anime dead on. That was amazing.
And what was amazing to me is, you could tell it wasn't the most amazingly extravagant budget in the world for this kind of thing, but the moments where they decided that they were gonna really go over the top with the special effects were the moments that it really fucking counted.
Yeah.
A couple of the aliens felt a little stop motion from time to time, or a little on the
Halloween masky
lower
feel
side of the amazing special effects, but the stuff like you said, with the guns and the warping away, that kind of stuff was incredibly well done, and it played very, very well. Yeah. So they made it count where it needed to.
I agree. I think they did the one thing Hollywood has a hard time doing is picking what's the most important part to do the CG on.
Right.
Yeah. And I want smoke swords.
Smoke swords?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Duh. The other thing I thought was interesting was I thought the second one had a different feel. I actually liked the second one better than I did the first.
I do too.
Maybe it's because they don't have to catch you up on the story. They don't have to introduce the story. So there's not a lot of...
Is that what you mean about the feel? Because I'm trying to figure out... Did you mean like...
I thought...
Pacing?
Well, I think it was the pacing.
I could explain this.
Well, I want to try first.
Huh?
I want to give it a shot.
Let him try, because this is his point.
Well, part of it is, I think the pacing's different, and I actually cared about the small parts of drama in the movie. I still don't care about the characters, but the parts of the parts of the drama were actually pertinent to the situation they're in, which I thought the first one that they didn't do.
Yeah, very, very well
I thought they had a hard time tying that in personally.
Okay.
But I have to admit, I like the live action, and I've never said this, generally never. I like the live action better than the anime. And they did it dead on. This is probably one of the very few, like we talked about earlier, that are actually dead on feel, dead on story, dead on look. It's quite amazing.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree with you on that, except for the fact that I don't know, I gotta say,
But I'm not a fanboy of
the
this.
Pacing on it. I do gotta say, I do like the pacing in the second one better than I did the first. But I think in the second or the first one, they were trying to introduce you to the main characters, and in the second one, they've already introduced you to the main characters. Now they're just bringing you in with sub characters,
and that's
why the pacing was faster in the drama scenes.
That's probably why I liked it better.
That's what I'm saying,
and that's what I really come to expect from the first one, of a movie like this, especially when they're trying to explain. Because look, I didn't come from watching the anime like you guys did. I'm
the only one that's seen all of the anime.
This concept.
I saw half the first season.
Oh, okay. So I was really, really new to the concept in the beginning, but I didn't have the same problem with the pacing in the first one that you guys did. I agree that it definitely got better in the second one, but I thought in the first one they really didn't get bogged down too much in any particular part. By the time I started to kind of even think like, oh, I wonder when this is going to end, that's really when it started to kind of pick up. A couple of the moments were obviously a little bit, cheesy, and maybe a couple of scenes could have been cut a little short, but to me, the first one had a real. I don't know if how many people have seen the movie Cube. I know James has seen it.
I've seen them all.
John,
I
didn't. You ever see Cube?
Yeah, I've seen most of them.
I've seen them all. Cube Zero.
Forget about the third one.
Okay, I was going to say, let's not go there.
Third one doesn't exist. But no, the first Cube, it gave me that same kind of feeling as this. Not necessarily that limited story.
You're right. Yeah,
it was just kind of like this. You put people in this situation where they really have kind of no idea what it's about, and then you sort of have the same kind of character like in Cube with the Ren. You had the new guy who kind of knew what was happening, who's been there before, who kind of throws a little exposition their way.
So here, I had a question for you. But on Cheese Factor, was it Umbach 3 cheesy or Beastmaster cheesy?
Ooh, not anywhere near Beastmaster.
Umbach 3?
And I don't know.
Sorry, I'm kind of stacking the deck against you.
Wow.
You just handed me.
Yeah. That was like the elephant size right there.
Sorry, I stacked the deck.
Oh, man.
I don't know. There was a bunch of things that I liked, especially with the concept, the weapons, the suits.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, apparently they came from a story that was really well established.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't, from me not knowing about that, it didn't seem like it was really lame or really kind of like, where the hell did they get these? It seemed to be really fit with the world in a great way.
I was going to say, and I think in the realm of live action, I think you really have two masters in this. You have the people who are incredible fans of the anime, and people who are new to it. Yeah. And I thought they served both incredibly well, which in my opinion is very hard and very rare.
Right.
Well, manga's a big thing in their
knowing that this was
culture,
adapted from an anime, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I agree. As far as the rating goes, I got to give this one a 4 for me. Both of them, not just the one or the other. If I was going to give them one and the other, I think I would give the first one a 3.5, a high 3, and then this one, the second one, a 4. I almost said 3.5. I know we're not doing that. We're not doing the halves.
We don't have half points.
That's why I stopped. A high 3, and the second one obviously a 4, because I think the way that they wrapped it up, they didn't throw it apart.
It matched.
Yeah, they didn't mess it up. Like a lot of secondary movies that are follow up to finish out something, they really destroy it, and I don't think they do that.
A lot of ones that they follow up to finish it out, they're not finishing it out. They're doing it because the first one was so freaking popular, and hey, we can make money off of this.
Like Resident Evil 3, 12,
302.
I was going to say I'll preference my score a little bit. I'm not a giant fan of the anime, but I give it a 3. It did everything it accomplished. It fit the world, the story, the visual effects. I thought were spot on.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why mine's not a 4 is I'm not a giant fan of it, so I think kind of my bias is in there a little. But overall, they did an incredible job.
Yeah, I think they did.
It's a worth see. I think it's a violence based movie, but I still think it's worth seeing. I would see this over Super any day.
And now to you,
Ryan.
Okay, like I said, I thought the pacing was fine. I thought the effects were great. I liked the concept of it. I liked the way Japanese movies really like to play on morality choices in movies like this. Especially like with the end, like you were saying with the menu.
Yeah.
It always brings those kinds of Sophie's Choice, if you will, into the kind of things. Maybe not quite that bad, but I'm gonna go for a 3 on the first one. Got to go 4 on the second one. I mean, high 3 on the first one though, just because I'm a huge fan of this kind of concept. It's really hard to find original stories nowadays, and even though this was adapted from an anime, it's adapted from source material that's not extremely well known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you give this kind of great story to a wider group of people, this is one that definitely deserved to be made.
Exactly. Now we're going to transition a little to movie news, and this week was James's.
And I got one more thing. I know you guys, you Japanese directors probably won't understand English, but if you guys got somebody out there, Shinsuke Sato, the director of this film, and Hiruya Oku and Yoshimi Watanabe I'm sorry if I screwed you guys' names up.
Probably did.
Go find Berserk and do live action of Berserk.
Please.
Please. Big fan of that one. So go ahead and get a hold of that one.
I'm down with that.
So now on to movie news, guys. I know you guys are like bated breath right now.
Oh,
but Troma just finished production of Return to Class of Nukem High.
That's awesome.
Now, hold on. I got more Troma news.
Oh, no.
Along with that, now, the Return to Class of Nukem High is on IMDb. This one is out. It's on their news website, but IMDb doesn't have this one yet. Is Toxic Twins. The Toxic Avenger 5 is also done and done. These are both in post-production.
They've already done the production of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so these guys are coming out.
Is that the one that this allegedly was supposed to have Bruce Willis? Was the Toxic Avenger 5?
I think so. I couldn't find anything, or it wasn't Bruce Willis. You said John Travolta.
Oh, close enough.
That's
Same guy.
I think that's fake, guys. I mean,
I hope so.
I really do. I think if somebody's out there with the name of John Travolta, Troma would scoop him up and try to promote that. I think you got
John L. Travolta.
Yeah, but so I know you guys are really looking forward to see Return to Class of Nukem High. Same type of story thing going on here. Return to the class follows a young couple that are going up against the school glee club. Blah blah blah, shenanigans and a lot of weird stuff happens.
And look, if I can interject just one point, James and I are probably on the same page on this one. Troma movies are the best. You get 9 people together in your house, throw it up on a big screen, get a bunch of liquor, and just sit there and enjoy the shit out of that.
Well, see that
exactly. That's
production crew.
Well, Troma make bad movies on purpose,
right?
And you, the only way you could make movies this bad is if you tried, and they excel. And they're entertaining as hell, especially if you're a little liquored up.
Well, Troma is the epitome.
People with you.
Is the epitome of a B movie, guys. I mean, This was something that started in the mid '50s all the way up until Troma took a hold of these. These were drive-in movies.
Right.
These started out as drive-in movies that these guys were pumping out continuously, throwing them out there like Woman Chain Gang, Hell's Angels Women, and all this stuff. I mean, these are actual movies that are out there, guys. Right. And Troma took a hold of this type of thing and threw it together. Now, they're no longer, drive-in movies. You can't really go to the drive-in and see this anymore.
You gotta find one
what they did is they keep them on like VHS, and they moved on to DVD release finally. And now they're like putting them out, and they're basically what Ryan said. You just basically go out there with some friends that you don't really care about, or on a date. I sure hope not, you guys, but that's a possibility.
That's it.
Look, if you find yourself a girl or guy that's into this kind of stuff, and you match up on that, that's a keeper.
I mean, seriously.
Now I have a dream date. I have a dream date with some sort of bottle of alcohol and redneck zombies.
There you go.
Now that's a date that'll
and you
fail.
Could finishing it up with the Toxic Avenger 3,
Exactly.
Or Nukem High, or Tromeo and Juliet. I mean, there's a ton of these guys out there.
Right there.
I mean, there's a ton of these movies out there, and the great thing about Troma is they keep putting them out. I mean, these are coming out in 2013.
And you can really see the love behind, look, we wanted to make a B movie, and we loved making this B movie.
Exactly. So they're successful in their industry. They are like the epitome of this industry. I really got to say that.
I think to better, they're cult classics. They're made cult classics. They'll never be Hollywood blockbusters, but if you talk to any movie buff and you mention Troma, they're like, yeah, dude, I love insert Troma movie here. Toxic Avenger. Yeah. There have been cartoons of it.
Yeah, and not the kind of cult movies that end up becoming, wicked mainstream, like like Kevin Smith kind of stuff, like, Clerks is a cult movie. Yeah, it's not cult when everybody in the world's seen it now. But these ones remain cult forever because there's only a certain amount of people who are into that kind of shit.
So, on to some actual more type of movie news that you guys might actually be a little bit more interested in. Is Matt Damon's coming out in a movie March 1st, 2013, Elysium. He's going on with his, type of kind of badass type of guy going on. This is set in the year of 2159, where the very wealthy live on a man-made space station while the rest of the population is sitting in crappy Earth. Man goes on a mission to bring equality to the polarized worlds and shenanigans.
Sounds like an anime.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one.
Plan, isn't it?
We got a.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Yeah,
I said I think that's Richard Branson's master plan, right?
Yeah,
Virgin Space or whatever.
So the guy that's running this one, as far as the director and writer, is Neil Blomkamp. Now you guys might know the name from District 9.
Yeah.
Stargate SG-1, Smallville. He's got some decent kind of futuristic, type of things going on. A couple bad credits to his name is Dark Angel.
Dark Angel. Why do I know that?
What's her name?
TV show?
Oh, that's right. That's the TV.
Jessica Alba.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
That wasn't a good TV show, to be honest, guys.
Yeah, it was a product of the times.
I know. It was like a wannabe Buffy, pretty much.
Yeah.
But this guy's moved on and done.
I'm sorry, product of the times. I mean, that's
right. I mean, what else do we have? Lucy Lawless running around,
churning out all kinds of these crappy ass TV shows in like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
You couldn't escape that kind of shit from the WB.
Lois and Clark.
Yeah,
92.
Although, hey, Terry Hatcher was a nice eye candy from there. All right, I gotta say, come on.
But
come on.
What was the cat's name that played
Superman?
Clark Kent in that?
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Moved on to what's it
Ripley's
called?
Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
After Future Sport, which I might have to review just because I want to rip it apart.
Dude, I can't believe you threw that one out. But I mean, this one. I mean, if this guy's successful like he was in District 9, which I was not a big fan of that.
I love that movie.
I don't think it's a piece of crap like I initially said. I mean, I had to watch it like 3 times before I stopped calling it a piece of crap.
I love the visuals. I love the visuals in the movie, though.
No, I didn't like it, but I watched it 3 times.
No, I had so many people like, dude, you got to watch it again. Really? I got to sit through that piece of crap again? I sat through it again, and then finally I'm like, all right, I got to sit through that thing again, so I stopped calling it a piece of crap. So
I got to say, if there's anybody who's close to being a masochist when it comes to movies, it's James. I've seen him watch their movies that I've not only walked out of the theater with, I'm sorry. He says, well, I want to finish the movie. It's like, why? You hate this movie.
Oh, yeah? I just put like 20 movies in my favorites on YouTube, all the free ones. So screw you. I'm still a masochist. And one of them's a trauma. Thank you very much.
Wow, he doesn't want to let go of the title.
Nope.
Poor bastard.
No, well, some of them are kind of interesting, and some of them are those horrible horror movies I was just talking about from the 50s.
So what are?
All right. Anyways,
what's other news on there?
I got another one that I know that Ryan knows about it. I think you know about it too. But I was a little bit, I kind of want to throw this one in there. It's also coming out March 15th of 2013. Now, I am a horror movie fan. This is one of kind of like a guilty pleasure horror movie fans. Because it's always nice to see kind of the nerdy underdog chick coming back with a vengeance. Carrie is being redone.
That's right.
In 2013, March 15th. And Julianne Moore is in this movie, believe it or not. She's playing the mom.
Julianne Moore.
She's playing the mom.
Yeah, she's playing Margaret White.
In the story of Carrie, that's the most interesting character to me.
Yeah.
I've seen.
That's the one I was always kind of creeped out by.
I've seen Carrie. It's just been a long
the chick
time.
Playing
done
Carrie
it a couple of times, right?
I'm sorry. What was that?
They've remade this before, not as a sequel, but they've
remade
I know they've remade it like 3 times. I think
because I think there's Carrie 2. I think this is the first one that I can remember that's a true reboot, but I could be wrong.
But the chick that's playing Carrie is one that I've become a big fan of.
Carrie Fisher?
No. Of course not. It's Hit Girl.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, really? What's her name?
It's Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, Moretz.
Moretz, yeah, thank you. So Hit Girl from Kick-Ass is playing Carrie. So that kind of makes me a little bit more inclined to watch it.
2013. Well, I guess she'd be about the right age for that. I mean, if they're going to make her 16, 17 years old.
She's going to be 15.
She's still in high school,
February 10th, 97. She's going to be about right around there.
I don't know, but she looks crazy young, I guess. Well, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, she does look crazy young, and I think she's like, what was she? She's about 12 in Kick-Ass.
Probably now.
Yeah, she's going to be turning around 15. So, yeah, she's going to be playing Carrie. So that kind of makes me really like want to see it even more because I like the way that she portrayed Hit Girl.
Well, any girl that age who has an ability to throw some darkness into their role like that. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of kids doing these types of roles, for a couple of different reasons, mostly because they can't pull it off, but she can.
I just really want to see her in a Tarantino movie. That's my goal. I want to see her in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one that I'm
preferably killing Nazis.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Is that it for the end of the movie?
Yeah, I didn't want to go too far into movie news because we've usually done where we got like 10 of them. I think in just a few that are something that viewers can look into. I wanted to do that.
Okay, well, I want to ask you guys one thing that I was curious about. I thought you might have brought this up. Are you guys looking forward to Looper?
Looper.
That's
I've looked it over, but
and Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm torn. It looks interesting. I don't know for me if it's a scene theater. Because the one I want to see soon is I want to see Judge Dredd.
Sure.
Because I'm a huge Carl Urban fan.
Yeah.
I do want to see it. When or how, I still haven't figured out. But it does look interesting enough for me to see.
I am a Bruce Willis fan. I'm not. I don't know. It kind of seems like I don't want to say this because I like the guy, but after Red, I liked it. I liked that one a lot. Yeah. But I think what was the one that he just recently? Die Hard 6.
Oh, Die Hard. There's.
I kind of thought his career was going to be.
That would have been Die Hard number 4.
Yeah, I think he was kind of done after that. I wasn't a fan of that one, but then I saw him in Red, and I'm like, maybe his career's not done.
Well, the problem with Die Hard.
I don't know. I think he's kind of beating a dead horse like Arnold was.
Sorry. The problem with Die Hard 4 it was PG-13.
Yeah,
that was definitely a problem.
When you're a child of the 80s, you grew up watching the Die Hard movies, it's your rated R, and then you bastardize the movie by making it PG-13. It's just not going to live up. When he says his trademark catch mark once towards the end, and that's I'm sorry, that's what gave it the PG-13 rating. I'm sorry, that sucks.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap up the episode, James gave Gantz and Gantz Perfect Answer 4. I gave both 3. Ryan gave Gantz the first one, gave him 3. Gantz Perfect Answer, he gave a 4. And I forgot. What movie are we doing next week, Ryan?
That guy.
Okay. Now I haven't seen this movie, but every time I see any kind of review on it, it makes me think that it's actually going to be worth watching. So I'm wicked curious on this. I'm picking Warrior, which is the MMA movie that came out, a year and a half ago. Now,
you're not doing it.
Now, here's the thing:
is this the one with Dave Bautista?
It's like, hey, MMA is popular. Let's make a movie on it and make some money from it. But every review I see of this is like a 4-star review or like an 8 review or something like that, and a couple of them from sources that I actually trust. So I'm gonna.
Is this the one with the former WWF star Dave Bautista?
Sucks.
Is this the one with Dave Bautista, the former WWF wrestler?
No, it's Tom Hardy.
No, it's with Nick Nolte. I have never seen before.
Okay, yeah. This one, if I remember correctly, this one piqued my interest. But
here's the thing: I'm not a big fan of Nick Nolte either.
I'm not a big fan of Nick Nolte, but I don't know.
You're having the same reaction that I did.
Yeah, because I've known about this one, and I was kind of I don't want to
put it off. And then yesterday, I was looking at a couple of reviews for it, and I was just baffled. Maybe this actually is going to be.
So it's an MMA version of The Boxer.
Yeah,
it's basically an MMA version
of the fighter.
The fighter or some kind of boxing or Raging Bull. Right.
Well, it looks interesting.
Raging Bull.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But I'm a big fan of a good, sports action movie, that kind of stuff. If they're
$1 Million Baby.
What?
$1 Million Baby.
Except for the bullshit ending.
Tell us what you really think.
Well, I can agree with him on that. So,
ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, Ryan Preston, and James Stevens, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
This episode of Old Guy Tech TV is brought to you by Ward's Automotive, specializing in Banks Power and Pack Brake, servicing your car or truck and specializing in diesel engines. Over 30 years of service, located in Diamond Springs, California. Give them a call at 530-626-5588.